the rain that brought them together, the soldiers' silent struggles. Warm meals, war stories, and winter nights. The youngest whisper, the secret that healed two families. The rain hadn't stopped for hours. It came down in thick, heavy sheets, soaking through coats and chilling bones. Jonathan Carter didn't mind the rain much. As a former firefighter and now a single dad raising a 6-year-old daughter, his mornings were usually chaotic enough to distract from the weather. But this morning was different. He had just dropped his daughter, Ellie, off at school and was headed home when he saw them. A woman in fatigue, a mud-streaked and clinging to her body, was standing on the corner by the bus stop. 4 children clustered around her. The youngest couldn't have been more than 3, and the oldest looked barely 10. All of them were soaked, hair plastered to their heads, clothes dripping onto the concrete. Jonathan slowed his old pickup truck, heart tugging. He could have kept driving. Lots of people did, but something about the way the soldier held herself, his shoulders squared, lips tight, one arm shielding her young guest, made him stop. It wasn't just the rain. It was the exhaustion etched into her posture, the kind of weariness he knew well. He rolled down the window. "Hey," he called, voice cutting through the storm. "You need a ride?" The woman turned. Her face was pale and streaked with water. Her eyes held a kind of defiance but also desperation. "We're fine," she said quickly, though her lips trembled. One of the kids coughed, a sharp, bark-like sound that made Jonathan wince. "I've got a daughter," he said gently. "She'd be mad if I didn't help someone in the rain." The woman studied him, weighing trust against pride. Finally, she nodded. "I'm Sergeant Elena Ramirez," she said. "These are my kids, Sophia, Marcos, Donnie, and Emma." Jonathan leaned over and opened the passenger door. "Hop in." "I'm Jonathan. Let's get you dry." The kids climbed in, one by one. Little Emma clung to a tattered stuffed bear, her tiny fingers gripping it like it was her only anchor. When she passed Jonathan, she paused for a moment, staring at him with a strange intensity. Then she climbed into the back seat with her siblings. Elena slid into the passenger seat, her uniform squishing against the seat. "Thank you," she said softly. "No problem," Jonathan replied, pulling away from the curb. "You hungry?" The ride was quiet at first, except for the hum of rain on the roof and the occasional sniffle from the back. But when they stopped at a small diner, the kids' faces lit up like Christmas morning. Elena tried to protest, pulling out her wallet, but Jonathan waved her off. "Hot chocolate and pancakes solve a lot," he said. While they ate, he learned bits and pieces. Elena had just returned from deployment and was trying to settle back into civilian life. Her husband had left 2 years ago. She had no family nearby. Her new assignment had been delayed, and her housing voucher was caught in paperwork hell. They had spent the night in a shelter and were now trying to find a temporary motel. Jonathan listened, nodding. He didn't push. He just kept the coffee coming and made sure the kids got extra syrup. Emma, the youngest, was still quiet. She didn't eat much, just sipped her cocoa and kept sneaking glances at Jonathan. When the meal was done, Elena stood. "You've done more than enough," she said. "We'll be okay from here." Jonathan hesitated. "Where are you going?" "There's a place on the edge of town," she said. "They might have a room." "In this rain?" he asked. She hesitated. "Look," Jonathan said, "I've got a guest room. It's not fancy, but it's warm. Ellie would love the company. You're welcome to stay a night or two, just until things settle." Elena looked like she wanted to refuse, but then Emma tugged at her sleeve and whispered something. Elena's shoulders slumped. "Okay," she said. "Just one night." They rode in silence again, but something had shifted. The kids smiled more. Marcos even cracked a joke about Jonathan's grandpa music when a 90s rock song came on the radio. Elena relaxed a fraction, her grip on her bag loosening. Back at Jonathan's house, Ellie was already home from school, curled up on the couch with a book. She blinked as the group filed in but then grinned. "Hi," she chirped. "I'm Ellie. Want to play?" Sophia immediately joined her. Marcos and Donnie ran to the window, watching the rain with exaggerated groans. Emma stood close to her mom. Jonathan handed Elena a towel. "Bathrooms down the hall. Got clothes for the kids if they need them." Later that night, after the kids were asleep, Jonathan sat in the kitchen nursing a cup of tea. Elena joined him. Her hair was damp but clean, her uniform replaced by one of Ellie's oversized hoodies. "You didn't have to do all this," she said. "I know," he replied, "but I've been where you are, lost, tired, doing everything for someone else." She looked at him, eyes narrowing. "What happened to Ellie's mom?" Jonathan stared into his tea. "She died in a car crash 3 years ago. I was still working the firehouse, had to quit, couldn't keep up with shifts and Ellie's school." "I'm sorry," she said. He nodded. "She was strong," he said, "but Ellie a broken bar, she's stronger." They sat in silence, the house quiet except for the patter of rain on the windows. Then Emma padded into the kitchen, barefoot and clutching her bear. Jonathan smiled. "Hey, little one, couldn't sleep?" Emma didn't answer. She walked over to Jonathan and climbed into his lap like she'd known him forever. "You were sad before?" she said. Jonathan blinked. "What do you mean?" "In your eyes," she said, "like Mama when she came home from the army." "You don't say it, but you're sad too." Elena's eyes welled with tears. Jonathan wrapped his arms around the little girl. "Yeah," he whispered, "but you know what? It's okay to be sad. It just means your heart is big enough to feel." Emma nodded, satisfied. "I like your heart," she said sleepily. And in that moment, Jonathan realized something he hadn't felt in a long time. He was home.